Hello, how's it going? I'm just here to show you my progress with this little game I'm making. The working title is A Boy and His Golem. It's nowhere near done, but I'm getting a lot of the player animations out of the way, and I now have two functional characters. So, first one is, let's see, the Golem. I just put him in 45 minutes ago. It's still kind of buggy, and the animations aren't perfect, but because of the time crunch, I think I'm just going to leave things the way they are. There's a few problems with him. If you jump, turn into the boy, because the Golem isn't supposed to jump. He's too big, and so I haven't taken that code out yet, because this is just literally a copy and paste of the boy's code. But he walks around very, very, very slowly. He does have a sprint mode, but it's not really a sprint mode. It's more of just a really fast walk. So if you hold shift, you can go faster. Notice the decrease in speed. Now the transition between sprites is a little awkward. Well, sometimes it's awkward, but oh, cliff edge. I don't know if he'll be able to jump. The plan was that he wouldn't be able to, but a little jump isn't so bad, I guess. Clearing maybe like one block. But yeah, that's the Golem. That thing you see right there, that's the life crystal. It's a central element to the game, but I'm not yet quite sure how exactly it'll be integrated, but it's a major plot device. I'll say that much. Second off, we have the more complete room. This one has the boy. This one has music. Last time I tried using the screen recorder on this, it screwed up the sound. So this may or may not sound like a screeching banshee once it builds. Okay, there we go. Alright, that worked. And so, there's a nice little music track in the background. 4 bars, Magic's Music Maker 15. Really short. But, you'll see that the backgrounds do they scroll based on how far away they are. I mean, it's a completely 2D game, but I've made it so that there's like pseudo depth. And so the mountains move really slowly compared to the foreground, these trees that move really quickly. One problem is that the trees in the foreground are the same size as the trees in the background, and that has to change because it kind of screws with the perspective a little bit. But for now it works, and this is the other protagonist in addition to the Golem. This is the boy. The working name for him is either Billy, Stanley, or Bumblebee. All the names for this game are kind of up in the air. The story is set out, but characters themselves aren't really that well defined. And he can do all the same things the Golem does, he's just a lot smaller. He just moves faster. His walk is probably almost twice as fast as the Golem's. Actually, yes, it is twice as fast as the Golem's. His sprint is about 3 times as fast as the Golem's sprint. And he can jump much, much higher. Now the jumping animations are a little buggy, especially when he falls, but that's something I will work on. He can jump roughly 128 pixels, although I need to make it so that he can clear those 2 blocks without needing to double jump. Just the basic mechanics of this game are still being kind of hammered out. It's like the control scheme is pretty clear, but it's still up in the air about what does what. And so the levels in this game are pretty big. They're about 2,000 pixels by 2,000 pixels. They may actually get bigger, depending on how complex the puzzles get, but what I may end up having to do is just split levels up into multiple smaller rooms, sub-levels. Yeah, there's not much else to show in terms of in-game content. This is all of the game's resources right here. I based this off of an older platforming engine I had made about a year ago that used this character. And you still can use him. I still have the placeholder object, but he won't actually end up getting into the game. Although there will be characters based off of his Anime Studio file. So there are lots and lots of sprites in this game. There's, I think, 7 for all of the basic animations, and then this bear has a few extra ones like punching that aren't included in these other ones. There are a few things that have not yet been implemented, for instance, or even been made yet, but one thing is this animation of the boy getting onto the golem. He can like go piggyback ride and whatnot. If you go look over here, this is the Anime Studio file. I use a program called Anime Studio Pro 8, about $100 off of Amazon, for animating all of my characters. So this is just the timeline, and the boy rides on the back, and this second boy down here he climbs up on and gets on. So that's just the transition animation that we have, although that has not yet been implemented. And so far, that's about all I have. I'm probably a little behind schedule. I want to have this done within a week. Actually, yeah, in exactly 7 days. That's my deadline. So I'm kind of freaking out. It's a lot of stuff to get done, but it's coming along nicely, and if I don't end up finishing the game, I may just release it as an engine on the Yo-Yo Games website. But it's exciting, and also sometimes really monotonous and boring and takes a lot of time. But if I get it done, it'll be a great thing to have in my portfolio, and so that's what I'm going for. And thank you. Goodbye.